Do you want a guaranteed way to beat inflation and to gain interest on your money? Well, CDs, certificates of deposits, may be the best bet for you. So in my last few videos, of course, on this channel, we talk a lot about the stock market, right? Because we want to beat inflation one way or the other. In the last video, I talked about high yield interest accounts or saving accounts, and they're very good to have. Now, CDs, however, oh my goodness. Now, this is very clutch. A lot of people don't even think about them and, they don't even use them. But they are also a good way to beat inflation and better than leaving your money in your bank account without getting more than 0.00001% on your money. Because remember, if you're just saving your money in a regular account, what's happening is your money is losing value. And God forbid you have your money as cash. Yes, you are losing value because as the days progress, inflation and the cost of goods and services, they increase while your money stays at the same value. So we can't do that anymore, not in this century at least. So what we're needing to do is figure out ways to gain interest on our money that are, of course, safe. Now, of course, in the stock market, we have to do our research and all that good stuff. But what if you don't want to do research? What if you don't care about, knowing the best stock and You just want to beat inflation, and that's all you're caring about and get a little bit of interest while you're doing it, right? Because my mantra is make money while you sleep. So CDs, what are they? So certificates of deposits. Essentially what happens is the bank will issue certificates of deposit in, let's say, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. And what does this mean? This means that you will give them your money and it's certified that they'll give you a certain interest rate. And typically the interest rate for your CDs, certificates of deposits, are usually higher than the typical bank account. Now, what's happening here is you're locked in for whatever time period you decide. So let's say you decide 6 months or 12 months. So this money that you are given to the bank to put in a certificate of deposit account, you are not going to be using it, right? And so we talked about the high yield savings account in that you want to put your emergency fund here. We talked about, what will happen in the event that you need it within 24 hours. You have a delayed period. Well, for CDs, you have an even delayed period. Now, this is, let's say you have money and you're not going to use it for, let's say, 6 months or 12 months, or you want to get serious about saving. This is one way to discipline yourself. You can, let's say, take $1,000, $2,000, whatever the case may be, and put your money in a CD. Now, you may find CDs at different banks. Of course, call around and see who has the best rate. At this time and age, everybody's competing to get your money because, what the banks do is they take your money. Once they lock it in for that 6 months, they can definitely loan out your money to get more interest back on it. But at least in this way, they're giving you some of the interest that they're also incurring with your money. Now, there are some drawbacks with CDs, and I'm going to give you the main one. But before I do, please, if you are enjoying this video thus far, please like, share, subscribe. On this channel, I am on a mission to bridge the wealth gap. And it starts with you, right? I believe that everybody deserves to be wealthy. And it's not a privilege that only the wealthy has. Everybody has this right. And so if you have a friend who you want to be wealthy as well, share this video with them. Okay, so what are the drawbacks of the CD? Well, the CD, you're giving your money for 6 months. And so if you decide, I absolutely need my money, they'll give you your money back, but you're going to incur some fees and they may be high fees. So if you decide that you're going to give in this money for 6 months, 12 months, or 18 months, some people get scared about this. And of course, you like, oh my goodness, this money, I might need it. Because of course, some people, a lot of Americans, I think it's about 60 to 80% of Americans don't have at least $1,000 saved. And so the thought of putting money in a CD might be daunting for you, right? But this is money that you're absolutely certain that you probably won't need in the next 6 months. And like I said, you can use it as a disciplinary thing for you to save, right? Take your money, stash it away in a CD, get whatever the interest rate it is. And the interest rate is usually above 3%. And so get whatever the interest rate is lock that in and get that interest on your money. And then you can take the interest off, use that money if you want to. But I suggest you just keep putting it back and get interest in your money that way, because now this is really a good bulletproof way to beat inflation and to increase your wealth. And, while there are fees, I mean, it's still a win. You know what I mean? Especially if it's not the money that you're intending to use. So definitely not your rent, your grocery money. No. So this is money that you're trying to save. And I will also like to point out here that the longer CDs, so if you do 18 months and those type of things, I believe you get a better interest rate. Okay. And so again, you can find these at different banks. You just literally have to call them and ask them about their CDs. There's no prerequisites to sign up and stuff like that. Of course, you have to have the money ready to do it, but be prepared to lock it in for 6 months, 18 months, 12 months, and those type of things. But if you have money just sitting in a bank account, transfer that to a CD and don't worry about, inflation. All right. So I hope you found this video helpful. Until next time.